This is your daily dose of F1 news. This morning, we're going to be talking about that Ferrari front wing and revisiting, is it actually legal? Going to be looking at Daniel Ricciardo's situation with Haas and what his demands were. Also talking about the Alpine reserve driver and looking at the Mercedes Shakedown at Silverstone. As always, don't forget to hit that like button on the stream and also subscribe to the channel. So first of all, we're going to start out with this. Now, I made a video on the Ferrari front wing on the channel just a few days ago. We're talking about the slot gap sort of bends here, these aero devices that are just over here. And there are conflicting reports now. Some people are now suggesting they think that this is subterfuge from Ferrari, in that they've put those on the car with no intention to run them, legal or not, really to make other teams think about them and take their mind away from other parts of the car. Now, I don't know what other parts of the car they may not want people looking at, but the thinking is that Ferrari have literally placed these here for other people to think, oh, we need those, and take their eyes away from other parts of the car. Now, I'm going to do a little poll here. Do you think we will see these on the Ferrari? Do you think we're going to see these on the car? Now, it's possible as well that you may see these in testing, but that doesn't mean they're going to make it to the race either. Do you think Ferrari are playing games? Do you think they've got something on their car that they're trying to just divert attention from? I'm not sure where that'd be. And I'd question the value of that, because you've got to bet now, at this point, Mercedes, Red Bull, whoever, have gone over the images that they have of this Ferrari with a fine-tooth comb and found bits and bobs that they've got going on. Did Merc not try this last year and got told it wasn't in the regulations? Indeed, I covered this in the video that I made the other day, Ian. The rules changed into this year. Good morning, Stuart, Pascal, Ian, and Harry. Good morning. So it's just an interesting tidbit. I'm not sure what is on that Ferrari that they don't want people having a look at, but it's something that I'll definitely bring you guys if we get any more information. Of course, testing starts next Thursday, and I'm going to be covering that. We're going to be doing the news show at 9 a.m, and we'll be doing a afternoon sort of update at about 2 o'clock, and then a testing roundup around 5 o'clock. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be doing those live or whether I'm going to be doing them as videos. We might do quick lives, maybe 15 minutes long, where I can show you the timing and we can talk about what we might have seen, and I can share images with you that I might have found. But we'll keep a keen eye on this, and we'll keep an eye on the news stories and just see if they arrive in Bahrain with something no one's expecting, and this has been a diversionary tactic, because we don't know at this point. Now, this is a story about Daniel Ricciardo, and Haas have been talking about him because Daniel Ricciardo, around him, it was quite clear that Williams and Haas were available to him for this season. However, he still chose to go back as a reserve and marketing type guy over at Red Bull. And I get that in some ways. I do understand that. I think he wanted to get off the merry-go-round somewhat and not have that pressure. You know, I do feel like that from what he said and things like that. And Gunther Steiner has been asked about why the brief talks with Daniel Ricciardo fell apart, and he just dismissed it and said, "I don't know, ask him." Okay, which is fine, is okay, but apparently in the Drive to Survive, which I don't think is out yet, Kevin Magnussen was asked about the situation. And apparently Magnussen said, and I'm going to swear now, he said, Ricciardo we can't afford it. Sorry, this is Steiner saying this. He said, Ricciardo, we can't afford it, Kevin. He wants 10 fucking million minimum. So Danny Rick wanted $10 million a year to go to Haas, if you're to believe this quote. Now, obviously, Drive to Survive, I don't think, is out yet, because I haven't been checking, I'll be honest. So the suggestion is to go to Haas. Daniel Ricciardo wanted $10 million to go and do it. Can we believe that? Do we think that's a plausible story, that you wanted $10 million to go and do that? I doubt I'll be watching it, to be fair, Pascal. That's why I don't know. I probably will. I don't know. I don't know if I'm watching this year's Drive to Survive. You know what? I'm going to put that in the chat. I'll probably end up watching it. I probably will end up watching it. But that's actually a good question for you guys. Will you what? Drive to Survive. I'll probably I didn't get through last season. I'll be honest. I didn't get through last season. It was all very crap. So I didn't watch last year's. I think I got like 3 episodes in, and it just, the vibe from what they had before, the vibe from what they had before the earlier seasons was just gone for me. I'm diverting this onto another thing, but Drive to Survive early Drive to Survive felt like I was a fly on the wall and I was seeing stuff I wouldn't normally see. And then it morphed into feeling like I was watching a really cringeworthy reality TV show. I don't know if anyone else got that feeling, but that's how I felt about the last season. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. I hope they've changed it a bit. But $10 million is what Daniel Ricciardo reportedly wanted from Haas. Now, what do we think would have been better for Danny Rick? Do we think he should have been on the grid with a Williams or a Haas, or go and do what he's doing at Red Bull? Just say the team or whatever. I'll give it a go, Gled. I'll give it a go. I'll watch a few episodes of it and I'll just see how I feel about it. I'm not being an elitist snob or whatever. It's just stylistically how it was. Just I didn't like it, you know. But what do you think? Do you think it was the right thing for him to go to Red Bull? Harry says, I think Danny Rick needed to step away from to step forward in the long term. Probably right, yeah. I was the same as you. I didn't finish it. No, Glad. No, I didn't. Good morning, Dan. How are you doing? Just a little reminder, while there's 20 of you in here, later on today, probably mid-afternoon, there's going to be the TSK F1 2023 prediction video coming out. Me, Harry, and John recorded this last night, where we've gone across, 5 questions? Biggest flop, most improved, biggest surprise, constructors champ, and drivers champ. So that's going to be out this afternoon. So please do keep an eye on that, because I think it's a really good video. I've watched it back twice just to check the edit and stuff. I really have enjoyed making it with the guys, and yeah, that'll be up later on today. I think it is about 20 minutes. We have a good chat about all the points we all pick, and it'd be great to have you guys in the comments of that video, giving us your predictions to those sort of criteria. So later on today, guys, it'll be out. What he does now is better for him. Mindset, step back, yeah, probably better. Keith saying, didn't get around to seeing the last series and now I've cancelled Netflix. It must have been poor if I forgot to watch it. And this is the thing. I mean, bloody hell, I've got a YouTube channel about Formula One. I'm mental on Formula One, and I couldn't finish it. So I don't know what Jonathan is saying yes to, but yes. But there we go. Danny Rick, he wanted $10 million from Haas to go and drive for him. It strikes me as the conversation probably won't have even started with Williams if he was after $10 million. But there we go. Little piece of news that we had confirmed. I mean, it was pretty obvious anyway. We had it confirmed at the Alpine launch last night that that Jack Doohan is indeed the reserve driver. Is indeed the reserve driver for Alpine, and I don't know who else would have possibly got this. To be honest, it makes complete sense. I think this is a season where Jack Doohan needs to deliver in F2. I think it will be a close one. I think him is Potier still in it? Potier's still in it, right? I think him and Potier will be close. Liam Lawson, I think, is still in it, maybe. So I think it's a season where you're going to want to see Jack Doohan start to really deliver at that level, and really sort of start putting his name in the hat for a Formula One drive in the future. Just got to have a little bit of peppermint tea. Harry said, "Will watch Drive to Survive as last season didn't surmount to a Michael Massey masterclass." Tell me you're a Lewis fan without telling me you're a Lewis fan. But there we go. Jack Doohan is the reserve driver for Alpine, confirmed, and he deserves it. He's the right kind of guy. And actually, I've seen him speak a couple of times. Well-spoken kid. And he's got a really good turn of pace. Seen him racing F4s on the British touring car circus a few years ago, and he was very good there as well. And lots of very good drivers come through there. So, next news. Suppose we should speak about Mercedes, right? Mercedes, they had their shakedown yesterday, and I'm only really, I was thinking this, I haven't really reported on anyone's shakedown, but I'm reported on the Mercedes one. And this is pretty much down to the fact I've seen more press about the Mercedes shakedown. There wasn't such a thing made out of the other ones. I mean, we saw the Ferrari at its launch, and I think there was a shakedown and there was more images. But we also we saw the images of the Alpine, I suppose. But what I was going to say was, on the video footage, now it was wet, it was windy, it was fairly horrible at Silverstone. I've seen a few videos of them going down the straight and things like this, and I'm not seeing any visible porpoising or anything like that. And I suppose that's why there is so much press around the Mercedes shakedown, because people are wanting to know, is it porpoising? Does it handle? Is it a good car? And it's a difficult one to sort of talk about, because we just don't know how it's going to be next week. And I'm going to be watching the testing next week with great interest. And I will be, honestly, please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. And honestly, the more live streams you watch, and if you go and have a look at the video content, because around the live streams, guys, I'm also doing video content. If you watch the videos as well, I'll come up in your suggested videos, and then that's how we'll grow on YouTube and get it out there. Because, yeah, we need those videos to grow as well, because I think they've got really good information in that people are coming into the chat and talking about, but they haven't seen my content, you know. Daniel Ricciardo will end up in Perez's seat, maybe. James Gladhill, everyone's saying it's be about them having a nightmare. No, the first day they definitely did. Glad, the first day they definitely did. It 100% was misfiring, and they had an issue. But what's just as true is they knew immediately the issue. It doesn't affect any other Mercedes runner. It doesn't affect anything else. They knew immediately it was a mounting issue in their car. Like, they knew. So while it went wrong, it was one of those situations like, oh, you know, and then they fixed it immediately. So it definitely happened. The wet won't show it well as its lower speed. Next week will be the telltale sign. Indeed, Jonathan. Apparently it's just a 10mm pipe or something. They fixed it easily. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Like when I reported it before, I stressed that it was to do with that they knew the issue. You know, they knew it and got it fixed immediately. And look, let's face it, this is what a shakedown is for. I don't want to. I'm really working hard not to turn this into a Mercedes fan channel because I'm not a Mercedes fan, but we've got the Mercedes news. I just want to throw it out there. I will report other news. I think the other day we had the Ferrari and we had the Alpine and everything like that. So before anyone starts getting the annoyed with me and saying I'm biased, because we've had that before. But it looks like things went smoothly. We've had some quotes from the drivers. I'm not sure who this quote is. This is Hamilton. It's been great to get up and running in the W14. It is always a much anticipated moment for everyone at the factory that's been working so hard. I'm incredibly grateful for all the effort that has gone in. The day has been smooth. We got through a good program and we've come away with some useful findings. I generally felt comfortable in the car and I'm excited to be going to Bahrain. Russell said it was very cold and greasy out there today, but the car ran smoothly and we completed all the laps we are permitted to. Because in the shakedown filming days, they're only allowed to do 100 kilometres. Otherwise, it's considered like a full test. They do testing anyway for the 100 kilometres, but... he continued, we know preseason testing in Bahrain will be the first real test of the car. Nevertheless, it looks great out on circuit and the feeling within the car, so far, so good. Andrew Shovlin, the trackside engineer, said it's a solid start to the program for the W14. Conditions weren't great for filming or running, but we completed the permitted 100 kilometres without any issues, and both drivers have been able to give us a good assessment of their first impressions of the car. Bahrain will be very different to a cold, wet Silverstone, but everything seems to be working well. Hopefully we can hit the ground running next week and maximise the 3 days of pre-season testing that we have. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I'll be looking for from all of the teams in testing. What I always look for now, I know when I'm doing my testing update streams next week, people will be all over lap times and stuff like that. The main thing I look for is track time, how many laps completed, because the more laps completed, the better, because that's going to inform the development path. It's going to inform what they do and don't know about the car. It's going to inform actually set up for the next week at the race. Just lots and lots of different things. If a team goes there and they can't get all the track running they need, then, it's a problem. And we saw during the dominant Mercedes years, they would turn up and put in laps, like a lot of laps. He sounds a bit more upbeat than Toto did. Well, I mean, what day does the testing start? The 23rd, it starts at 7 in the morning, Gled, and I'm going to be live with the news at 9 a.m. I'm going to be live at 2 o'clock with an update, and I'm going to be live at 5 o'clock with a roundup of the day's testing on Thursday. Is it Thursday? What day is it? Is it Wednesday? When is it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the 25th. So on the 25th, I might be live even more on the 25th because it's a Saturday. I'm going to have to check my calendar. And then the weekend after, of course, is the first race. It's the first race the weekend after. So F1's coming back, guys. F1 is on its way, and I can't wait for it. Yeah, I think it could be a really, really good season. I think all the teams have really dialed down or dialed in what they went with last season. You can see that's kind of what they've done down the grid, right? You've got Mercedes have stuck with their sort of zero pod. You've seen Red Bull stick with their downwash, and you've seen Ferrari stick with their dish ones now. And all of them seem to have really honed what they've got, don't they? And it's going to be good to see next week what we get. But that is all of the news for today, guys. Let's have a look at the poll. Which will you watch Drive to Survive? Yes, is the answer here. 63% saying yes. Now, I do want to remind you later on today, guys, there will be the season prediction video from me, Harry, and John coming out on the channel. So please, please, please do make sure you're subscribed. It should go live at 3 o'clock. It's about 20 minutes long, and we talk about the biggest flop, most improved, biggest surprise, the Constructors' Champion, and the Drivers' Champions. So please do subscribe. I think you'll enjoy it. I'd really like you guys to get involved in the comments of that one, giving us your predictions and where you disagree and agree with us. I'm 100% certain all three of us have said things that some of you will disagree with almost violently. But yeah, other than that, keep an eye out on the channel because there'll be content. I will be back live Monday morning with the TSK F1 News Show, but there may well be TikToks and YouTube shorts and things this weekend. Keep an eye out for the video later on, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you very, very soon. Cheers.